What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. I'm Michigan Sports Talk here. In this one, we go over Michigan officially landing a commitment from the former five-star and Alabama defensive tackle transfer Damon Payne. We also got some more news on some quarterback targets for Michigan in the transfer portal, as they're set to get some on campus for a visit, including a new target that is set to visit this weekend. We go over that, plus a new running back that Michigan is in the mix for, and also a new linebacker target as well. Plus, Michigan incoming freshman quarterback Bryce Underwood set to begin practicing with the Wolverines today. We go over that and more in this video, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, so Michigan got some good news last night as they finally officially got a commitment from the Alabama defensive tackle transfer Damon Payne, as they finally sorted out whatever needed to be sorted out, and he is officially in the transfer portal class for Michigan. It's a big time pickup. He is a 6'4", 315-pound defensive lineman, comes from Belleville, Michigan, does have 1 season of eligibility remaining. This past season, he had 14 total tackles, including 1 fumble recovery, and he brings in much needed depth for Michigan on the defensive line. And obviously yesterday, a lot of reports came out early in the morning that he signed with Michigan. However, his agent then came out and said that Damon Payne is not currently signed with any schools, and he'll be releasing his commitment under his own terms very soon. And finally, later last night, Damon Payne officially announced that he would be committing to Michigan. So he's the number 12 defensive tackle in the transfer portal, was a former 5-star recruit, again, in-state kid from Belleville, Michigan. And this was a big time pickup because obviously Michigan is losing defensive tackle Mason Graham, also potentially Kenneth Grant as well. Mason Graham is already declared for the NFL draft. So those are going to already be 2 bodies really tough to replace for Michigan. So, Damon Payne does project to fill a rotational role up front, also could potentially compete for a starting job next year with Rashawn Benny, as long as he comes back for a 5th season, which should be expected. But Michigan, not done going after defensive tackles in the transfer portal. They're still going after Keyshawn Silver. Another guy to keep an eye on is the LSU defensive tackle transfer JVR Suggs, which Michigan could go after as well if they can't land Keyshawn Silver. But right now, Michigan has 5 transfer portal additions out of the wide receiver Donovan McCulley, Cal Poly offensive tackle Brady Norton, and the Arkansas defensive backs TJ and Tevis Metcalf, and now the Alabama transfer defensive tackle Damon Payne. So big time pickup there, and yes, it is now officially official. He is committed to Michigan. And we also do got some news on Michigan's quarterback targets in the transfer portal. We talked about a couple yesterday out of the Baylor and former Toledo quarterback DeQuan Finn, who is a Michigan native from Detroit, 6'2", 206-pound quarterback, transferred to Baylor last season, but from 2021 through the 2023 seasons with Toledo, he had 2,000 yards in all 3 of those seasons. He has a play style similar to Bryce Underwood's, which would be why it would be a nice pickup and addition for Michigan at the quarterback room, a nice bridge quarterback for Bryce Underwood. And according to Sam Webb of the Michigan Insider, he did make his way to Michigan on Monday for a visit. That was confirmed by Matt Zenitz of 24/7 Sports as well. We also did talk about the Nevada quarterback transfer Brendan Lewis, which according to Sam Webb of the Michigan Insider, there is a mutual interest between the two as well. He is a 6'2", 209-pound quarterback, and in 2024, he had 2,290 yards with 16 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Also carried it 157 times for 775 yards and 8 rushing touchdowns. And Michigan could potentially get him on campus for a visit, but one other target that did come about is the Fresno State quarterback Mikey Keene, which you guys should be familiar with his name because Michigan went up against him in the first game of the season this past season. He's a 5'11", 200-pound quarterback. Spent the first 2 years of his career at UCF before transferring to Fresno State, where he has played the past 2 years, and in 2024 he had a 70% completion percentage with 2,892 yards, 18 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, and last season he had 2,976 yards with 24 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. And according to both Sam Webb, the Michigan Insider, and Matt Zenitz of 24/7 Sports, Michigan is scheduled to get him on campus for a visit this weekend. So Michigan, Sherrod Moore really trying to get a quarterback from the transfer portal. They wanted to do that regardless if they got Bryce Underwood or not. They obviously did, and now they're just looking for a veteran guy who can come in here, not only add depth to the room, but also compete potentially for the starting job. And like I've talked about before, getting somebody that'll come in here and relieve some stress off of the younger guys, and especially off of Bryce Underwood. But that being said, he could definitely come in here and start day one. He's got the talent to do that. It's just in Michigan's best interest to have another quarterback just in case. That way they aren't, rushing Bryce Underwood or any of the younger quarterbacks like Jaden Davis or anything. So some big news there. Michigan going after a few quarterbacks right now. Also, Michigan is in the mix for the Nebraska running back Dante Dowdell, as 4 schools he is high on. That is Michigan, Kentucky, Georgia, and Alabama, according to Steve Wiltfong of On3. Was a sophomore running back this past season, and he had 143 carries for 614 yards and 12 touchdowns. He's a 6'2", 225-pound running back. So that's another running back Michigan going after in the transfer portal. They're obviously still going after the number 1 running back in the transfer portal, and that is the Alabama transfer running back Justice Haynes. He is set to visit Michigan this weekend. So, and then another potential target is the Washington freshman linebacker Kamori House, who recently entered the portal. Michigan offered him. He's a 6', 213-pound freshman linebacker, had 33 total tackles this past season, including 1 forced fumble and also 1 interception. Was a former 3-star according to 24/7 Sports. However, he's a 4-star on the 24/7 Sports transfer rankings and the number 2 linebacker right now in the transfer portal. Does have 3 seasons of eligibility remaining. Obviously, Michigan did or plans to move Jashawn Barham to edge, which opens the door for Michigan to really go and attack and get a linebacker from the transfer portal. So that's the latest on the transfer portal right there. Some more transfer portal targets for Michigan. Also wanted to mention that quarterback Bryce Underwood is set to begin practicing with Michigan on December 19th. Thursday, which is today, as the Wolverines prepare for their bowl game matchup against Alabama. Should be very awesome to get these young guys coming in, these incoming freshmen, the early enrollees, get them experience, bowl game practice reps. Going to be huge, especially for the quarterback Bryce Underwood. So I just wanted to mention that. Also, I did just post a Michigan basketball video as we went over the key takeaways to their close loss again to Oklahoma last night, and we're just talking about where this team is at right now, how close they are to being a great team. Go ahead, check that video out if you guys have not watched it. But with that, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to go ahead, drop a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more if you are new around here. I greatly appreciate it, and we will see you guys in the next video. Go Blue.